Shabbat, we'll be reading the portion of Vayera. We're deep into the life of Abraham and Sarah, the first Jews. And actually in this week's portion, we read about the birth of the first born Jew, Isaac. And what's very interesting is if you look at it, you see the story of our patriarchs and matriarchs. We see that childbirth was a big issue. They were barren. To have a child was not something that came easy. They prayed and they prayed. And after many years of prayer, a miracle happened and they were able to have a child. And when we look at the story of Abraham and Sarah, it goes even further. Not only did they have to pray for a child, but then we find that Abraham was tested by God several times, testing his faith and how deep it is in God and how strong it is. God turns to Abraham and says, please take this beautiful, lovely child of yours and sacrifice him to me, basically end his life. And Abraham is ready to do it. Not because he doesn't love his child. He loves his child more than anything else. But he's ready to do it because of his commitment to God. At the end, when he's standing by the altar and ready to sacrifice his son Isaac, a voice comes from heaven and says, no, Abraham, don't kill your son. That was never the intention. It was just a test. Why would God want to test Abraham in relation to his child? There are many other ways to test Abraham. Like God tested him 9 other times. Why with his child? And perhaps within the whole story of the relationship between the parents and their children, and the difficulties it was in conceiving a child and then bringing up their children, the Torah is telling us a very important message, and that is that we do not take the gift of a child for granted. We understand that the greatest gift God gives to us is a child. Not just because God gave us someone who comes from us, but because every child is a potential of greatness. Every child is the potential of keeping the chain, our chain, the chain of Judaism, our family chain alive, to making us eternal. Through our children, we become eternal as we connect back many generations through our parents. And we understand how important it is for us to sacrifice things in our life to give our children what is so important for them. The tools, the faith, the connection to their heritage, the confidence, the self-assurance, the knowledge that they count and they are important. And this is something that's been ingrained within the Jewish people because of the story of our forefathers. They recognize how precious a child is by the fact that they didn't just have children easily. By the fact that the child born came with so much effort and prayer. They knew what they were praying for. They were focused that they're praying for continuity. They were praying to be able to have a relationship with the child that gets above generation gaps, that gets above any differences, but allows our essence of who we are to be given over to our children, and they take over from us. And this is so important in our time as well. We can't do enough for our children, and we can't give them enough of a sense of faith, connection to the Judaism, the mitzvot, the practices, the knowledge, the emotional connection. We can never do enough. We live in a world where there are a lot of things calling for our children. We want them to be the best in hockey and other sports, to be able to be the best in education. And these are all important things and very, very beautiful things. But they won't define any of our children as a person. What will ultimately define their success, their happiness in life, the ability to create good relationships, to be good citizens, to be the Jews who carry on the chain well. It's about connecting to who they are as a Jew. What does it mean to be a Jew? What is their mission? What do they represent? Who do they represent? And what tools they have to be able to make a success of it. So I want to wish you all to really take the time, as the Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Lubavitch Rebbe, once said, that in the same way that he spends every day significant time to pray to God, he spends every day a half hour thinking about the education of his children. That's how important it is. It has to be for us. And let's make that happen. Let's carve out a little space where we think about our children and what we can do for them. What more can we do for them to give them? Let's overwhelm them with love of Judaism, with love of God, with love of doing a mitzvah, just like we overwhelm them with the love that we have for them. And this way we'll see strong children, successful children, happy children, successful in all ways, and a stronger Jewish people. And our eternity will carry on. And this itself will change the world and bring Mashiach quickly in our days. I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. May God bless every one of you and your children and your families. We love you all. Shabbat candlelighting time in Montreal this week is 5:34 p.m. All the best.